So I want to pause you here. See, I'm a first generation entrepreneur. ठीक है, so probably my kids will get to hear a lot of stories from me like like what you're describing. तो मैं ना यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा understand करना चाहता हूँ. 2012 you have this whole ideation, you have this business book, you all sorted. ठीक है, मिल गया, एक चिट्ठी तो बना ली हम लोगों ने कि क्या करना है 10 साल में, 5 साल में, 1 साल में. Now I want to understand कि अगर पापा के पास गए, being a second generation entrepreneur coming from a Gujarati family, so what were the things for which you went to your dad? या ऐसा लग रहा है कि इस एक चीज़ ने मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प किया हो. Like I want to understand that relationship कि अगर नहीं होते डैड फॉर एग्जाम्पल, और वो लाइक यू वर सपोज यू वर अ फर्स्ट जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर, सो कहाँ पे आपको लगता है कि बहुत ज़्यादा डिफिकल्टी हुई होती टू फिगरिंग दिस थिंग आउट, विच माई डैड मेड इट वेरी इजियर फॉर मी, लाइक बिकॉज ही हैड ऑलरेडी गॉन थ्रू दिस फेज. तो ये वाला जो फेज था ना मेरा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल लॉन्चिंग इन द मार्केट या टारगेट ऑडियंस को सेट करना, जो भी वॉट एवर यू वांट टू से, आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट वाज दैट वन पैरामीटर दैट बीइंग अ सेकंड जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर रियली हेल्प यू.
I think finance.
Oh my god. That's true.
Yeah.
Anything else apart from it?
See,
That's the biggest thing I know.
there are plenty of things. Right?
Yeah.
And I think second generation entrepreneurs, I think the biggest advantage they have against entrepreneurs who are just starting out is they have some backing in terms of
Risk-taking capability.
Risk-taking capability, right? Because finance है, घर settled है, you're doing some type of business, some income is already flowing, so you have that bandwidth to, and a couple of years before you step into that business, you have a couple of years
Time
if
and
you
money.
want to, you want to experiment something on your own. So you get that leverage, right? Obviously, there are certain connections that they've built over a period of years, right? They may not be very relevant to the industry you are stepping
Networking.
in, right? But networking definitely helps, right? So
Got it.
one of my very initial distributors had come from my dad's network in
Got
the
it.
US,
Got it.
right?
Got it.
So networking definitely helps.
So मेरे को इसको ट्विस्ट करने दो फिर अभी थोड़ा सा. If suppose you are not a second generation entrepreneur, with all the experience that you have right now, I'm a first generation entrepreneur. What would you do if you were a first generation entrepreneur? If you do it now?
I think I would do the same,
Yeah.
right? Rather than I think
Like for the capital part or
हाँ.
initially कुछ बदलोगे?
No, I'm not really sure.
Okay.
Right? चीज़ें तो ऐसे ही ग्रो स्टार्ट तो ऐसे ही होता था,
अच्छा.
राइट? जर्नी में बोलोगे तो बहुत चीज़ें मैं अलग करता था, राइट? लाइक वी रियली लॉन्च्ड आवर फर्स्ट प्रोडक्ट ऑनलाइन दिस ईयर, राइट? व्हिच इफ एंड इन इंडिया, राइट? व्हिच इफ I were to do things differently, go back in past and change stuff, I would launch a brand in 2014.
Okay.
Right, which would probably be the top selling brand today.
Okay.
Right, but we didn't take online very seriously back then.
Okay.
Online was a really minuscule
Portion of the market size.
and it's still a small portion of the market size, but it's growing really fast.
Yeah.
Right, and there are brands who are doing hundreds of crores of sales online only.
Yeah.
And it's a big market, and it has become so competitive in the last couple of years that getting into this market and establishing yourself is very challenging. So while we were exploring the world, there are a lot of Indians who were exploring India and captured that market, right?
समझ गया मैं.
तो हम वो भी कर सकते हैं, right?
Got it.
So it is, yeah. So if we had to change one thing, go back and change it, then probably it would be this, that we would have a much larger visibility in India. Right? Currently, today, if you see Essence and Nutrition, global scale पे and India में pharma industry या nutra industry या herbal industry, Ayurveda industry, everybody knows us. Right? Globally also, everybody knows us.
Got it.
Right? India में consumer level पे people don't know us.
Got it.
Right? Because we are not visibly present to the D2C or B2C side of things. Right? So yeah, we would probably change that.
So you're basically like a supplier to brands right now in India, if I talk about in India, like a manufacturing की आपको अगर कुछ fitness related supplement या production related, because you have your own plants which are like industry standard globally, right? And hence you can like churn out really good quality raw material stuff that any distributor or any brand would need from you in India specific market. तो अब इसको है ना थोड़ा सा interesting करते हैं. I want to like take example. Let's build a suppose protein brand. क्या नाम दे उसको, चलो ड्रीम विद नीरज नाम दे देते हैं प्रोटीन ब्रांड को, ठीक है? एंड टेक मी एज अ फर्स्ट जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर, मैंने 2014 को 2024 कर देते हैं, मैं अभी बना रहा हूँ, मेरे को इंडिया को टारगेट करना है, राइट? सो नाउ यू सॉर्ट ऑफ एडवाइस मी कि व्हाट वुड बी योर फर्स्ट एक्शन विद ऑल द एक्सपीरियंस दैट यू हैव. सपोज मेरे पास कैपिटल भी है, लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ कि कैपिटल भी है और मैं ऑनलाइन जा रहा हूँ स्टार्टिंग में सिर्फ टू कीप थिंग्स सिंपल. How would you advise me to start?
So first thing is I would advise, and I have at least, I'm working with about 20 young entrepreneurs today who are just about to launch their first supplement, right?
Awesome.
Not only protein supplements, but some are into herbal, some are very much into women specific supplements, some are solving another problem, some are solving an acne problem. They're all solving different problems, right? And this is a personal passion project for me, right? Because we work with a lot of corporates, and obviously corporates के साथ कुछ limitations होते हैं, wherein they have their teams. Technically, we may not be able to inspire them to do something very uniquely, right? But with now that if you want to launch a brand, right, and you're coming with a clean slate of mindset, right, it also helps us, me personally, to kind of guide you and take you in the right direction of things, right? From the very beginning. Correct. So, like I said, corporates के साथ तो काम करते ही है, which is our bread and butter, and which is our 99% of our business. Got it. Recent times, we have started onboarding a lot of entrepreneurs who want to launch their first set of brand, right?
Okay, D2C brands.
Right? So, obviously, first question that I ask them is, how passionate are you? Right?
I like it.
Because it's not an easy journey.
Yeah.
So we meet a lot of people. A lot of them are they are IIM graduates, they are IIT graduates. Somebody is working with a top e-commerce platform in a very prominent role, right? And they are seeing brands under them, scale crores of rupee of sales. So they are seeing, अगर ये brand को मैं ही सब help करके करा रहा हूँ, तो अगर मैं ये side पे आ जाऊँगा, तो I'll also be able to make. Correct. So we always tell them that how passionate are you, because journey is not as green as it looks from the other side, right? That is one. So you have to be really passionate about it. Second question that I ask my young entrepreneurs or young friends who want to start this journey is, do you really want to solve a problem, or you just want to make money, right? If you really want to solve a problem, right, then we can really help you. If you want to make money, there are 100 or other manufacturers, right, who will make the product at definitely cheaper price than what Essenza will.
Correct.
Right? So we ask these questions, right? So having said that, कि अगर आप really passionate हैं, अगर आप really problem solve करना चाहते हैं, तो then we will onboard you as a client, and we will start working on what problem you want to solve, how you want to solve it, how soon you want to solve it.
Got it.
Right? And then we involve our R&D team into it, and we start formulating a very unique set of supplements, unique set of dosage forms, unique set of packaging, whatever.
Different permutation combinations.
Right? To ensure that we finally reach to a product which your consumers will be able to accept financially, will be able to accept as a source of supplement, right? And it will positively impact their life.
Got it.
Right?
Got it.
Because अगर positively impact नहीं करना, if you're just another supplement in the wide range of supplements today, frankly, there are sharks in the ocean today, right? It will, one is going to be very challenging for you to survive.
Correct.
Two, अगर differentiation नहीं है, तो client के लिए क्या value है?
Correct.
Right. And अगर आप वो कोई particular niche, particular problem solve नहीं कर रहे हो, so again, it will be very challenging for you to survive also, and again very challenging for us to help you differentiate also.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So that's how the journey usually starts. फिर R&D होता है, batches होते हैं, samples होते हैं, all of that. And then recently, in the last 2 years, we have invested in smaller capacity equipments.
Okay.
Right? Usually, and my when I talk to my dad, and he's run multiple businesses, into IT, into steel, into chemicals, all of that, right? So when I tell him कि मैं invest कर रहा हूँ छोटे machine में, तो he's like
ढक्कन खुल गया मेरे
क्या हो रहा है, right? So we invested in smaller machines so that we can do smaller MOQs for the new startups.
Got it.
Right? क्योंकि if you are launching a brand and if I tell you कि आपको 10,000 डब्बे लेने पड़ेंगे प्रोटीन पाउडर के मेरे से,
हाँ.
right? तो आपके पास उतना कैपिटल नहीं है.
करेक्ट.
अगर आपने कैपिटल जोड़ भी लिया कहीं से तो आप उसको बेच नहीं पाओगे, उसकी एक्सपायरी आ जाएगी,
करेक्ट.
आपका लॉस होगा.
करेक्ट.
राइट. सेकंड इज, अगर मैंने आपका कैपिटल पूरा प्रोडक्ट में ब्लॉक कर दिया तो आपके पास मार्केटिंग के लिए, एंडोर्समेंट के लिए
कुछ भी नहीं बचा,
कुछ नहीं बचेगा. Right. So then we invested in smaller equipment machines so that we can do really small MOQs for brands who are just launching. Right. So yeah.